Good day. Today I wanted to show you an example plan that you can look at, evaluate, and critique to see how the author has created a standards-based plan, picking out the objectives, and then deciding how to assess those objectives. So what I did is I just went to WVDE and I typed in PBL for project-based learning. And it brings me up to the State Department website, the Teach 21 site, and then the PBL section of that page. If you go to search for a PBL plan, you can look up your content area and the age level that you want to look up. Today, for an example, we're just going to take a look at social studies, and we're going to change this to grade 5. And then I'm kind of interested in what the Steal Away Home project-based learning plan is, so I'm going to click on it. It looks like this plan was made by Leonard Walker in 2008. He was part of Teacher Leadership, and this is his email account in case you would want to contact him. It's without the access now, so it's just at k12.wv.us. But he lists the project idea. So this is a collaborative project. The students are going to develop a multimedia game, and this has to do with the Underground Railroad. Okay, so there's an entry event that we would launch to the students to get them excited about the project. The next items that we have in the lesson plan is the objectives that he's chosen to use for this. So we've got an objective that is interpreting the quotes of famous Americans. There's an identified learning target that says the students will research and identify the role of songs, code words, quilts, and coded phrases in the Underground Railroad system. And then this is the section where we really wanted to pay attention to. This is the evidence of success section, okay? So this is something that the teacher has a documented form of evidence that the student had learned this target and is working through this objective, okay? So these are hyperlinks. Here's my research notes form A that the student would fill out to demonstrate that they had done the research. And so that is loading. Okay, so this is just a very simple Word document that Leonard has created so that students could put in the songs and the code words that they found and the source, and he wants them to evidently find 6 sources. So this is an example of evidence of success for the student for that particular learning target. You'll notice that it's tangible. We can look at it. We can put it in a folder for parents. We can give feedback to students. And we'll go back to the plan again. There's also research notes form B. Okay. The next standard is a research standard that they're going to be judging the significance to history. The learning target is to identify those contributions. Now let's see if the students are actually going to judge those things. So with this storyboard, and I'm assuming that the students are going to create a video, basically. In the storyboard, the students would have to go down through and list what they were going to put in their particular project. So we're just kind of waiting for that to pop back up again. And I think that maybe... Yep, there we go. So this is listing what's going to be on the first slide and the second slide and the third slide, what the voiceover is going to be, what the background is going to be, what the pictures are going to be. That's kind of a nice way just to get the kids organized. I still don't see that this is a product that would show how they're judging. It might show how they're interpreting what they're actually going to put in the video, but you look at the CSO, and my critical nature says, Okay, it says here that they're to research, but they're to judge the significance. Okay, so I didn't see that as a judging evidence. Let's see if this is a judging evidence. Okay, so this, is stating that the students have to have so many slides and what needs to be on the slides and how much clip art they have to have, how many action buttons. That's a pretty big project for a fifth grader, I think. I still don't see any evidence of judging. Let's look at this one and see. This is where they're going to incorporate strategies and tactics into this multimedia game. Okay, so we've got research notes on the two different sources for the students to fill in, which is nice. It's already there for the teacher, but again, I'm not seeing any judging. Let's look at this particular CSO. Is going to use the 5-step writing process to create probably narration. This says the target is development of a final reflection paper, and this will probably be directions to do that final reflection paper. Now, with this CSO, definitely that reflection paper would be something that you could grade, share with parents. It is evidence of success. Okay. For the learning skills and the technology tools, this says the student is going to identify the information needed, search engines, etc. Their research notes have proven that they have done that. Okay. And then there's going to be a daily journal log and a collaborative rubric. Let's see what this one says. That they're going to use audio, video, pictures, clip art, movie maker programs, etc. To do those things. And then there's another technology tool. The student uses the internet browsers, blah, 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 in the way that they're supposed to. So probably in this daily journal log, when they talk about what they've done for the day, you can kind of assume that they've used the internet correctly in their productivity. All right, so you can form some other critical opinions of those particular learning skills and technology tools if you'd like. Here's some thinking and reasoning skills, and problem solving is something that the teacher wants to see, and then this is going to be the evidence that the students problem solved. The teacher wants to see that they've used multiple technology tools for gathering information, and this is going to be proof that they have used those different technology tools. Okay. With the other learning strategies and tech tools, we've got one here and one here. This is ethical behavior. Here's a self-direction checklist. That's kind of neat. How can we prove that a child has been online and been ethical about it? Well, there you go. So it's a self-report for the students. So I just wanted to kind of show you how evidence can look in education. Obviously, it takes a little bit more time to create documents like this and a lesson plan of this nature. But this is an example of a lesson plan that has been completely thought through. It has the know and the do list that I told you that was so important. It lists exactly how this whole project is going to be assessed. It shows the rubrics already made. It has checklist here. It has the required elements, reflection piece for the students for them to reflect on their project and their work ethic. Okay, and this is a map of the project. So this is important too. We've been kind of suggesting this, but I haven't said it exactly, that you have to be very careful when you're doing a project like this to know that you've already taught particular skills, so that during the project you don't have to go back and teach these things as well. And these are the skills that need to be taught before the project so that they can move on to the project. And then it's very interesting that all of these skills are going to be skills that will be taught during the project. So those would be tiny mini lessons that the teacher would do with those kids. And in some way, maybe it might be direct instruction, it might be a collaborative project for them to learn that particular skill. Lots of different ways that you can teach. It doesn't have to be whole class lecture, okay? So this has all the attachments, all the websites, how to manage the whole process of this plan. And keep in mind that this is project-based learning. When you do a project-based learning assignment, you tend to cover many technology tools, learning strategies, and the particular objectives for class. It's a fabulous way to navigate through the CSOs and make a real-life situation for students. But I just kind of wanted to show you how to take a look at your lesson plan and go back and reevaluate whether or not you actually have evidence of success built into your lesson plan, so that you're not just kind of building this lesson that you say, I'm going to look around the room and see if the kids are getting it. Because that's really not what evidence of success necessarily is. Questions? Shoot me an email.